What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers have been incredibly active and continue to remain active in the center market trade. Lakers obviously need a center, and one of the teams that the Lakers have been heavily linked to is the Portland Trailblazers. And Robert Williams is having himself quite the season. There have been talks since basically the off season of a potential Robert Williams and maybe even like a Jeremy Grant type trade to where you get a 3-and-D wing along with a legit center that can block shots, rebound, slot alongside Anthony Davis, be a backup alongside Anthony Davis. And you look at the Portland Trailblazers, and it's like, okay, well, they have Robert Williams, they have Deandre Ayton, and they have Donovan Clegan, who he's starting to kind of come into his own a little bit. So the thought process is that the Portland Trailblazers are going to move off of at least one, if not several, of their centers. They also have a couple other guys that are young that could that they are interested in growing and developing on the roster as well. So it's very possible that both Ayton as well as Robert Williams could be moved. And according to Mark Stein, he believes that the Portland Trailblazers are more likely going to try to get off of Ayton and that he is available for potential trades. They're not just going to necessarily give him away. They don't necessarily want to just give him away, but they're open to trading him, moving off of him, and then also Robert Williams. So question becomes, is he somebody that the Lakers should be interested in acquiring? Personally, I don't think so, right? I like Ayton. I actually think he could be better than what he's been. Although this season, he's actually having a very good season. We'll dive into that here in a moment. But even like back to Phoenix, right? Like he's always kind of wanted to be the guy. You've seen him kind of humble himself a little more over the last year, really. 26, so he's still very young. A lot of growth and potential, I think, is still there. I think, him alongside Anthony Davis makes a lot of sense, right? Especially the way Deandre Ayton has been defensively this year. He actually has a 110, 111 defensive rating, which is very good, right? Like Anthony Davis has like a 109. League average this season is a 114. So far. It's still early in the season, but still, it's a 114. League average has been around a 116. Ayton has been, again, 3 points better than league average, right? Like, that's good. You slot him alongside Anthony Davis. He's a guy that can go get buckets, and he's a guy that's averaging a double-double on the season. The idea and concept is there. My problem is, he's making $34 million this year, $35 million next season. So he still has 2 more years on his deal. If you could essentially get him, right? Because I don't think that the Lakers should be giving up a first or anything for him. And the problem is that you can't really get him and a Jeremy Grant because it's like $70 million in salary that you need to send out, and you still need to fill out a roster. So really, you need to send out almost $80 million in salary to be able to fill out the roster. So that is off the table for those that may be thinking well, what if we get a Jeremy Grant also? No, it's pretty much one or the other. Now, you could get Ayton and then go get, a Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe like a Dennis Schroeder, right? You could still get other pieces, but just at $35 million, I would rather just go get, because we really just need a backup center. We need, in my opinion, more perimeter guys, 3-and-D guys than anything. Now, the idea of Ayton post LeBron would make a lot of sense, right? Because now you have Ayton and then Anthony Davis as your front court of now and the future. And then even after Anthony Davis kind of rides off in the sunset, Ayton should be getting into his 30s at that point, and then so you probably have him for at least a handful of years or so after Anthony Davis. So the idea and vision, again, I get it. It's just he's making so much money. Now you could look at it and go, okay, well, Rui and D'Lo get you there, right? And you also not only do Rui and D'Lo get you there, but on top of that, you actually clear off $1.5 million to go bring in a Quincy Olivari or something like that, right? I get the idea, I get the logic, right? Okay, you get a legit double-double center, starting level center, a guy that could really make some noise and do some damage. A guy that on any given night go give you 20 or whatever. It's how much is he $15 million better than Vucevic? Probably not, right? Like, I'd almost rather go get Vu. Like, you could literally get Vu and Zach LaVine, right? Just because it's 15 million less, right? Like, that's a big difference, right? That 15 million would go towards a Zach LaVine, right? Like, you could get a Zach or a Vu and a Jeremy Grant rather than, a Ayton and a Jeremy Grant. But going over his stats, like I said, he's actually having a really good season this year as far as like stat-wise goes. And he is a true 7-footer. He's got like a 7'6" wingspan. He's like 250 pounds. Right? So again, the idea is there. But he's actually having himself a good season. So 11 games this far, he's averaging 29 minutes per game. He is averaging just basically 12 attempts per game at 11.9. He's shooting 52% from the floor. He's also, which is surprising, he's shooting 38.5% from three-point range this year on 1.2 attempts, so a very small sample size, but it's pretty good, right? That's a new caveat to his game. That's something that's a new tool he added to his tool bag, right? I like that. And then from 2-point range, he's shooting 53.4% on 10.7 attempts. He has an EFG of 53.8. Free throws is down a lot, but he's also not taking as many free throws so far this season. He last season was 82% on 1.4 attempts. This season, he's only 62.5% on 0.7 attempts, so not even a full attempt. He's averaging 3 offensive rebounds, 7.5 defensive rebounds, so 10.5 rebounds per game. He's averaging 1 assist, 1 steal, half a block, 1.5 turnovers, and 13.3 points. So he's basically a 13 and 10 guy, 13 and 11 guy. We could be now nice and rounded up. Like I said, he has a good defensive rating this season, but he's not a guy that's been looked at as just this stout lockdown defensive player. I think that there are better options, and I think we have bigger needs besides a center. And if you go and get Ayton, you're starting him, like for sure starting him, because you're not paying a guy $35 million to come off the bench, right? So now LeBron is at the 3. Is Ayton that good that it justifies starting him and moving LeBron to the 3? Like, could that be a detriment to LeBron, kind of wear him down over the course of a season? Right? Like, there's just a lot of factors that you got to factor in. There's a lot of thoughts you have to think about when you're kind of, looking at the potential of Ayton. And, of course, he's a name on the market, so, of course, he's going to be a link to the Lakers, and, the Lakers should go and get Deandre Ayton. Personally, no, I think the Lakers should stay away from him, right? Like, again, is he $15 million better than Vucevic? Is he $15 million better than Brook Lopez? Is he $25 million better than Valanciunas, who's averaging nearly the same stat line? Right? Like, I don't think so. And he's doing it off the bench, right? Like, I would rather just go get Valanciunas, bring in Val, $10 million, and then you still could go do pretty much everything else. You still have all the other options, all the other flexibility, right? You could go get Valanciunas and a Jeremy Grant, or Valanciunas and Cam Johnson with a Dorian Finney-Smith, and even a Dennis Schroeder if you really wanted to. I mean, you could go get multiple pieces if you wanted to. I just think that that's the better approach. I don't think Ayton is that much better. And on top of that, $35 million, and I don't think he's going to play the role that he's going to be comfortable with, he's going to be happy with, right? He has been better, like locker room wise and stuff, since going to Portland. Like I said, particularly the last year and some change. But he's still not like, you still have those things in the back of your mind, right? We're not that far removed. Literally a year ago he was in Phoenix, or I guess it's like a year and a half now, but you get my point, right? Like, it wasn't that long ago that he was with Phoenix, and him and Monty were getting in trouble with each other, and Chris Paul. It was a circus in a lot of ways. Now, and he was gone to Portland, and he's kind of kept his head down and been you haven't heard the noise that you heard in Phoenix, right? So, as he kind of moved past that, as he kind of matured a little bit, was that a learning experience from him, right? Which is fine. A lot of players, sometimes you have to go through that to get there. But I just don't think, he's going to be worth, they're probably going to want a first, if not more, right? I mean, they want 2 firsts for Jeremy Grant. You don't think that they're going to want probably 3 firsts for Ayton? Probably. I just think if somebody else wants to go and get him, let somebody else go and get him. If you're the Lakers, I think you just stay the course, remain patient. If you can get a Valanciunas in 2 weeks, go get a Valanciunas in 2 weeks. If you can get, Nick Richards or Day'Ron Sharpe or somebody like that, I just think that there are cheaper options that are going to give you the production you need. Yeah, Ayton might give you better overall production. The upside is better. When Anthony Davis misses a game or he's on the bench getting rest, like Ayton, the ceiling with Ayton is higher. I get that, but again, I'd rather just go and get the cheaper route. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think, stay away from Ayton? Do you think, no, you should at least consider it, explore it, maybe go grab Ayton? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.